Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut 3. And hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So last time I did a video for you, we talked about Jason Kelce. So you want to, and his and said, I don't know what's going on here. I think with some of these athletes that think they're podcasters and broadcasters without, I guess, the professional training, they'll start saying stuff, and then sometimes they don't realize how silly it sounds and how ridiculous it sounds. And Jason Kelce is run by a corporation. Some corporation tells him what to do. And when he messes up, he basically says, all right, I'll fix it. Well, he's doing some damage control over what he said about the Blue Jays in Canada. I didn't think what he said about Canada was that bad, personally. But he is doing damage control because he's controlled by a corporation. And I'm sure someone in the NFL told him, you gotta fix this. So this is from Outkick. Jason Kelce does damage control in World Series comments by declaring his love for Canada. The former Eagles great sparked backlash after saying he couldn't get excited about a Canadian baseball team. And a viral rant about the World Series last week. Jason Kelce accidentally offended all of Canada. Well, maybe not all of Canada, but at least a few very local fans. It all started during a recent episode of the New Heights podcast, where Travis Kelce discussed the thrilling World Series between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Jason, on the other hand, wasn't enthusiastic about either team. Quote, and I guess this is the thing that upset some people. I think it's a big deal. You're telling me I'm supposed to get excited about a Canadian baseball team, he began? Yeah. Jason then went on to say, big spending by some MLB teams ultimately take away from the sport. The World Series champion Dodgers, for example, had a whopping $350 million payroll in 2025. It's exciting that the team that spent the most money and everybody knew was going to win the World Series, won the World Series. Jason said, everybody knew this was going to happen before the season. We just had a bunch of meaningless shit happen before it, and then it happened. So yeah, no baseball is not getting my stamp. Here's the thing. We know who's going to be in the Super Bowl this year. We know the Chiefs are going to be there. They're the favorites. They're the favorites going in. They're still the favorites. We've had nothing but the same teams in the NFL for 20 years. The Patriots, the Eagles, now the Chiefs. So there's no parity in the NFL. So on Friday, Jason took it upon himself. Let me get back. While Kelce didn't seem to catch much backlash for his Dodgers comment, except from Outkick's resident Dodgers apologist Ian Miller, Canadian baseball fans are not happy about the former NFL star swipe at the Blue Jays. So on Friday, Jason took it upon himself. Yeah, okay, I don't bullshit. Took it upon himself to apologize to America's hat. Let me tell you something. He was told to say something. The people that back him, that prop him up, that pay for this podcast, told him, you gotta say something. Quote, guys, I love Canada. I've been bamboozled by our social media teammates that failed to show the whole story. How can I not love poutine, maple syrup, and beavers? He wrote on X. I was actually rooting for the Blue Jays in the World Series that I didn't care about. Seriously, Canada's the best. I was just talking shit about not being personally invested or caring that the team that spent the most money and built a super team won the World Series. That's it. I'm a known Canada advocate and ice hockey lover. Again, he was told to say something. And this is the best he can do. I mean, really pathetic. The World Series marked Toronto's first return to the Fall Classic since winning back-to-back World Series in 1992 and 1993. And needless to say, Canadian fans were thrilled. In fact, this particular series drew a record number of eyeballs from across the world. Game 7 set a global MLB viewership record. It was the most watched English-language broadcast in Canada since the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. Added to the Canadian creed, anyway, the whole thing about these podcasts, and I'm going to say this again. I didn't say it in the last video on this channel. 5 years ago when I started the very first baseball hut proper. I was the only game in town, really. And very few athletes were doing these channels on YouTube and doing these podcasts online. But now they are all over the place because the corporations see how much money is in it. And the thing is that you have these corporations investing their time into putting Jason and Travis Kelce out there because they were popular players. They're both Hall of Fame players. Obviously, Travis Kelce is very popular, and his popularity has exploded with his girlfriend, Taylor Swift. Jason is a great football player. He was a great football player. Now, I've never watched their show. I have no intention of watching their show. The point being is these people have been propped up to control the narrative about sports, control the narrative that everything is on the up and up. I'm doing all these stories about gambling, and how the NFL has problems, the NBA has problems, Major League Baseball has problems, and these corporations prop them up. Okay, I've seen baseball players come into this platform. I've seen managers. Terry Collins helped the Mets get to the World Series in 2015. Prior to him being a manager with the Mets, he was a failure as a manager. He was a lousy manager. Okay. In 2015, he pushed all the right buttons because he had good players. Okay. I don't care about this thing about Tom Hallion, this nonsense, this confrontation between him and the umpire in 2016. Okay. Other than that, what does Terry Collins? All due respect, as a YouTuber, what does he have to? What is he giving the fans that's different? What is he saying that's different? I'm not picking on Terry. I'm just putting it out there. Some corporation put him there. The same thing goes for these different players that are out there doing all these podcasts from Major League Baseball to all these football players doing it, the NBA players doing it. These guys aren't doing this because they want to do it. They're doing it because they're being encouraged to do it. They told that they're going to make money, but they work for people. They're still working for people. I'm not working for anybody. And this channel, I have no following on this channel right now. On the Baseball Hut 3, I just started doing this last few days. So this is a new venture for me, just to branch out a little bit, do some other things, talk about other sports and other sports people. So nobody's telling me to do this. But that's what you're getting now, is you're going to get the same, like I said, all the players that you see now doing these podcasts, all these different channels, all these different, all these reactions on social media. It's all the same nonsense, okay, that you've watched on ESPN, Fox, and everywhere else you get sports. There's nothing different. There's nothing original. There's no original content. There's no original voices, And then, of course, you got the gambling coming in. This channel, I don't involve myself in any of the YouTuber. I don't involve myself in any gambling. Because when you involve gamblers into your show, you can't say don't bet on this and don't bet on that. You got to tell them to keep gambling, keep betting. But meanwhile, if you have a problem, call this number. It's just ridiculous. But Jason Kelce is he's just I don't know how long this is gonna be successful. The same thing with the Mannings. I think a lot of people are tired of the Mannings. They're actually, I don't even know, I can't even describe them. I think right now, I think some of the athletes are kind of getting worn out with the audience. I think the audience get worn out with them, with some of them. I don't think the Mannings are there yet. I don't think the Kelces are there yet. But certainly, keep in mind, once MLB comes in, NFL comes in, they start influencing all these different things. You're not getting the full story about what's going on. Because they partner with ESPN, Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC. I'm not partnering with anybody. So So I'm just sort of shooting it from the hip, as it were. But you let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, I'll have more stuff on the baseball at 3. And hopefully you like it. And it's going to be a little offbeat. I'm not going to be talking so much about baseball, but this is more about just the podcast and YouTube and really about these different figures from different sports. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.